Hey guys, welcome back to Ivy Rose Knows. So Gregg, so much about this trial leaves me with so many questions that I need to get answered. It's something is just not sitting right with me. Now, one of those questions is, what was it that made Gregg snap on her mother and her stepfather like that? Now, I do know that they were talking about she was caught with the vape and, she was, someone had ratted on her, but is that really a reason to kill your mother? And your stepfather? I don't know. That doesn't sit right with me. I do know that they're saying that she had psychological issues, she was depressed, and that she had a new medication, but a new medication at a low dose is what they usually start off at, and that made her snap. That too doesn't sit right with me. It just really doesn't. I do know that they tried to get her on an insanity plea, but she wasn't insane. So what was it that made her snap on her mother and her stepfather? And again, we're going to go back to that whole stepfather thing. That doesn't sit right with me either. It just so happened that she was a foot away from him. She pew-pewed, but he only grazed his shoulder. Then there is that video of him mouthing "I love you" to her, and her receiving it in such a way a stepdaughter doesn't receive it from the stepfather. I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. But that makes me think that there's something going on between those two. And again, this is just my opinion. Why was there a loaded gun in the house? Who keeps a gun loaded right there with a kid in the house? I was watching the trial, and Greg Smiley is talking about, there was lots of guns in the house, and, the last time that the gun that Carly used was her mother's, and the last time that her mother used it was quite a few years ago, and so it's just sitting there, fully loaded, ready to go, when the last time it was actually used was a couple of years ago. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me, even if I don't know. Why are there guns in this house, and why does this child have access to them? Why were they not locked away? Why was it just sitting there all ready for her? Doesn't that seem a little odd that it was just ready for her? Again, when she was arrested and the police came to the house, her only concern was her stepfather. Her concern was not her mother. She didn't ask about her mother. It was the stepfather she asked about. Is he okay? And people keep saying to me, well, she knew the mother was dead. Well, did she really? Couldn't there have been a chance? Wouldn't you be like, well, is she dead? Is she actually dead? If you caught yourself doing something wrong, wouldn't you be like, is she really dead? Is she really, could she be alive? But no, that was not a concern of hers. The only concern that she had was for her stepfather, Heath Smiley. Is he okay? Which again, the fact that she was standing a foot away and it only grazed his shoulder. Guys, I don't know. And I know people are saying that, yeah, they investigated the case, but did they really? Because nobody else is catching these red flags that I'm seeing. There's just so much. Why did she call the friend and ask the friend to come over so she can show her mother's dead body? Now, I know that they testified that she was scared and she was looking for help. Maybe she really was. Was she caught up in it and, it was like, what do I do now? I have to continue the whole plan. I personally think that Heath Smiley, Carly's stepfather, played a bigger part in this whole thing. Maybe he's the reason that the mother was not alive. And then it goes back to this whole journal that was found that looked like it was being written, like it was eventually going to have an audience. And the whole secret boyfriend. Who was the secret boyfriend? Could it have been Heath Smiley? Could Heath Smiley have been the secret boyfriend that nobody could know about? Was he the one maybe putting this in her mind? Or maybe she did it because she was jealous that her mother was with him? Like, I just feel like this whole trial left so many questions that I need to get answered. It's just, it doesn't sit right with me. I feel like there's so much more than this girl just decided to walk in the house that day, pick up the gun that shouldn't have been there, and unalive her mother. And then luring the father home so she can shoot the father. Like, I don't know. I know that they say that Carly texted the stepfather from the mother's cell phone saying, honey, like, are you coming home? Or something like that. Like, don't quote me on that, but that was about what the text was about. And everyone's like, she was trying to lure the stepfather home so she can shoot him too. But was she really? Was she really? Or was that just the plot in the whole, hey, it's done. Let's finish this plan. I just feel like I'm about to go down a rabbit hole, guys, because I want to know more. They caught her on camera in the house where she was hiding the gun behind her hand. But again, there wasn't a need for a confession. There wasn't a need for, they had it on camera. They had it on video. So how much investigating was really done into this case is what I'm curious about. I just feel like there's too many questions left unanswered. And so here I go, guys. I'm about to go find some answers, or to see if I can find some answers. But let me know what you think. Like, are you guys seeing these red flags too, or is it just me? Let me know in the comments.